wanker. He had the black man holding the camera earlier.
And now
this
Pakistani.
racist, yeah. And now he's got a Pakistani. Look how racist he is, bro.
No Sikhs hold cameras, man.
Nah, man, I ain't having it, bro. Next week I'm gonna get some of my Sikh bros down to hold the camera for me.
Yeah, you're mad. We're gonna hold cameras.
Watch.
All we do is get in front of the
Punjabi
camera.
brothers are gonna hold the camera for me.
And
watch.
So content over everything. You apologised earlier to Uncle Asif, isn't it? So
yeah,
big up,
Uncle
man,
Asif tried to go on a little rant though after that. I was saying, Uncle Asif, allow it. I just came to apologise.
Uncle Asif was, I heard he gunned
He's lucky he didn't get pushed again, you know. I tell you, he's lucky, blood.
He said he won't have an apology,
this is Big Ardz 2.0. Someone said you're not logical and you didn't react.
Yeah, I didn't react to that.
Yeah, you was just like literally with a big smile. Yeah. So Big Ardz 2.0.
What it is that some of us non-coconuts can have a higher IQ too, you get me? You know?
Shots fired, shots fired.
Because a lot of the people in the park, I've seen some Asians come in the park here. Well, they look like Asians anyway, but I think they proclaim to be white British. I think if they were born again, they choose to be a Caucasian, 100%. Manny Sinda talking about you.
Oh, you're mad, they're talking about my boy. Big up Manny Sinda, man.
Talking about you, coconut off. Your channel is a full-on Islamophobe thing, yeah? And listen, innit, bro. I'm going to tell all my Muslim brothers and sisters to boycott your channel.
You're mad.
And go on that channel, innit? Full on Islamophobe.
Let me.
Since you chatted to that Anne-Marie Waters, whatever her name is, bruv, it looks like you've just become her in a man form, you get me? You're the same as her, your agenda's the same. You need to stop doing that, bruv, yeah? Don't make me start bringing coconuts to the park.
Are you saying that I'm now the good guy?
Don't make me start bringing coconuts to the park and bounty bars. And I'll tell you one thing, bruv, Raj is not a racist like you, bruv. Yeah, Raj, at least he can understand that, you know what, we need to integrate with the brothers. He's seen that, Muslims can be good with him. Yeah, he's seen that Muslims can be good with him, you get me? And we've shown him that, there's good brothers here too. And he's changed his own behaviour. But man, Sinda, I just see you're getting worse, bro. You need to watch out the people you're surrounding yourself with, bro. Straight up.
Oh no, shots fired. I don't know what to say about that. But big up to Manny Sinda. I think he's a little bit misunderstood at the moment.
But you agree with me? He has changed, hasn't he? In the way
I say his views are more. I don't know, if he's agreeing with Anne-Marie Waters, I don't agree with Anne-Marie Waters, so I can't join her party.
Yeah, these are the problems, man.
So, yeah, I mean, I have said to him that if he's, that way inclined, then I can't agree with that stance.
I mean, even like Ralph, he's talking about, what was it, like we need to deport them.
Yeah, no, I will not accept that. Trust me. Let me say something, a lot of people think that I'm a type of person, if someone come up to Big Ardz house or any man's house and said, you need to go back home, I'll be fighting that man. I'm not going to watch somebody.
That's why I get along with you.
I'm not having somebody.
You're just in that regard.
I'm not having somebody, being deported because of their religion or their race or stuff like that. If you're born in the UK and you're here legally, then
even if you're not and you've been naturalised, you should have the right to stay here.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But if you're here and you're here legally, then obviously you have a right to be here, and that shouldn't be defined because of your religion or anything like that. Like I said, my message right now is about if you're British, Punjabi, Sikh, or if you're British, Muslim, Pakistani, I'm cool with that, man. You understand? That's the main criteria for me. That as long as you see yourself as British as well. Obviously, you have a different stance on that because you're ethnically from Pakistan as well. You was born there, so.
What it is like, I'd like to say I'm British, but I don't feel accepted enough to be British. You get me? That's the way I feel.
Yeah, and this is the white indigenous population's responsibility as well.
And I mean, the reason why I mentioned Manny, is because when I hear rhetoric like that, especially coming from someone that looks like me, it just makes me think like, can I ever be British? Do you understand what I mean? Like, do I have to sell out my people and my culture and my religion to say I'm British? I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just say I'm Pakistani then.
No, I mean,
I've got the passport to prove it too. Like, it's not even.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
the green passport, no problem.
The thing is that I said in my speech last time, if someone keeps on saying to you, you can't be British, then that person's gonna, they'll start hating you. Do you understand? They'll start hating your. If you keep on saying to someone you can't be British, then what will happen? You're just going to make them hate the UK.
So this is the problem.
And so you need to be inclusive and say, look, you can't tell someone they can't practice their particular faith.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't interfere in the. Sorry,
yeah, because when we're talking about freedom of speech, human rights, freedom to practice your own religion, that shouldn't be a barrier or a hindrance for me to be integrated into the community, innit?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I do differ. I don't know. I don't want to say that's Manny Sinda's stance, but for me, I do differ on the sense that when I spoke to Anne-Marie Waters, I couldn't agree on her stance about. I think.
What was the policy that she was enforcing?
Well, basically, you can be part of her party, but she's gonna be. I feel like they're totally. Yeah. I feel like from her point of view that I don't want to put words in her mouth but Islam as a whole religion is just wrong.
So that's what she
so
thinks.
no, I'm not saying that's what she said, but that's what I felt.
Right.
She didn't say in that particular words. But for me, it's like, I don't care if you go mosque 5 times a day. If you want to do this, you want to fast, you want to do that. It's none of my business, man. Yeah. It's only when certain things might start encroaching, like maybe on free speech, and stuff, then I have a problem.
Then you have a problem.
Then I have a problem, and that's pretty much it. As long as we can retain the free speech, and if you want to be a British, Pakistani, Muslim. And I don't care in what order. You could be Muslim first, Pakistani second, and Brit. But as long as you've got that component, I can work with you. Do you understand?
Don't get it twisted. I mean, the people from this country, I love the people from this country. Being from London, we don't suffer from much racism as maybe you do up north and whatnot out of London. So, I mean, we integrate well with all the people that are indigenous and the people that are immigrants.
I've never, the thing is, a lot of people say to me, we're going a bit off topic, but this is a good topic anyway, about because for me, when I think about race, I've never really experienced racism from white people because my area was very, most of them were Pakistani, and then you had Indians, you had stuff, and so
You're from the same area as me,
yeah, but I'm down, you know where I'm from, but basically my area, so I've never really experienced racism like some people, because what I've realised, people from up north have a much more, let's just say,
different
much more
outlook at people.
So when you talk to people from up north, they've said they've experienced a lot of racism because I think maybe the communities are not as integrated. So you have like, and I do want to say something. There's nothing. I don't personally.
They actually have towns up north, like you'll have a Pakistani town and like a white town.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I don't see that as a massive problem.
I do.
Hold on, in the sense that look, people generally are quite tribal.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with tribal in the sense that if you want to, like, if you go to these places, there's like Chinatown, there's this.
Let me tell you why.
But when it becomes a problem is when you
now you got them towns. So now, if they never leave the town, say for example, they've got all the necessities that they need, it's in the town, right? So they never leave in the town, they never mix in with the other races, other cultures. So when they do come across, there might be a little hatred towards them. You know
I mean, that's what I'm saying. In its essence, it's not a problem, but when it becomes a problem is when the two communities don't meet. Then because you start demonizing people and you start going, all right, that person, they're not like me, so all right, you can do whatever you want to those people. So I've had conversations recently, even with Ralph. I mean, Ralph, I get on with him.
Yeah, I get along with him, but I
hear certain things. I'm like, all right, how can you say that these particular people may not be productive for the UK, so maybe they might have to be removed?
Yeah.
That's something I can never condone. If I had a neighbour, and this is where people misunderstand me. They think I want to deport people. If I had a neighbour, I don't care what the idea is. If someone come over and start deporting them,
stick up for them.
I'll be freaking fighting the people that you may think I'm agreeing with. So if Tommy Robinson of all of these people suddenly turn around tomorrow and go, we want to deport all Muslims, you think I'm going to stand for that?
But I said, Tommy don't like us, man.
But what I'm saying, there's a difference between somebody saying I've got a problem
with you either, bro.
But what I'm saying, we're not going to go into the whole situation, but what I'm saying, I have a limit.
Yeah.
And my limit is that if you don't accept, people like Big Ardz, of other people who consider themselves, or, one of my Somali bros stuff, he says he's Somali and British Muslim, and you're saying you can't be then I have a problem with you. Right. It doesn't matter what side you're on. You can be on that side or that side.
And that we can
I have a problem with both of those kind of, let's just say, kind of like prejudices. Like you're excluding.
If your passport is British, you're British.
Yeah.
So you can be. So the thing is that the British is nationality.
What we were saying is that the problem is there's a lot of people that will make us feel that we can't be British because we're Muslim, maybe, or because of that. Yeah, exactly. So this is the problem. That's the discussion we're having. Like, I know I have the British passport, but is that what makes me British? Because I don't feel accepted. You understand? So that's what we're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but what my message is basically quite simple. Like, if you still want to, because I retain my Punjabi ethnicity, and I'm Sikh, but I'm also British, and I have all three components. And so this is the thing that people misunderstand about me, that I'm a coconut, I'm a this. No, I'm a proud Punjabi.
No, you're not a coconut. We know who the coconut is. We know who the coconut is.
Let me say something.
Don't worry.
No.
Nariyal leke aavanga, nariyal phadange itthe nariyal. You know, next time.
So let me just say something. Yeah. When Manny Sidha come around my house, he went from a white kind of to a Punjabi within a split second.
But do you think he prefers being a Punjabi or a white man? This is the
No,
problem.
no,
though. This is the
I'm
problem.
not saying he was like a white
the
man. I'm just saying
problem,
he.
bro.
he
No,
had
you
his-
just said it.
he-
You
no,
just said
as a
it.
joke, as a joke. Sorry, Manny, but I'm talking about
said
like
it.
obviously Manny Cinder has a very kind of like posh accent. So
What's your account?
when you hear him like that, you sometimes think, oh, he hasn't got that. Maybe he's not in tune with his ethnic side. Or his Punjabi side, but trust me, when he comes
so
into the
he's saying
Punjabi
he's
culture,
integrating like
so
that,
when he comes into the Punjabi world, I saw a switch like totally. And when he was like chatting to my mum and stuff, I was like, wow.
Maybe I'll have to see that to believe.
You have to,
it.
you have to see it to believe it. Remember, one of the things that people don't realise, I don't know if Manny will let me say it, but he lived in Punjab for quite a long
Is
time.
it?
Yeah, he went to Punjab when he was younger, so he lived there for like 4 years, from my understanding. So he does have his link with his background, but he just, for some reason, he doesn't show it,
Right.
and for some reason, he doesn't openly kind of like to promote that.
Because he
for
says
some
he's
reason.
proud of it, but I never see him, you know, like.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Even when I,
I mean,
saw
like
it
in the
myself.
summer, me and you have already agreed we're going to have a kurta, pajama,
No, it won't be
shalwar
summer.
kameez.
It'll be before that.
I say we're going to have a shalwar kameez,
It'll be
kurta,
spring.
pajama.
It'll be spring,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
we're
Oh,
gonna-
yeah, we'll be coming down.
Yeah, so I'm saying.
We're gonna have a face-off.
You reckon he'll ever get involved in something like that?
We should all do it, man. Imagine one day all of us coming down to Kurta Pajama.
Do you reckon he'll ever get involved in something like that?
Oh, in summer.
No, in the summertime. Yeah, he can do it. I'll make sure he wears it, man. He'll probably go next level
Alright,
madness.
if he does that,
Maybe
I might change my
maybe he
outlook.
might have a British Union flag Kurta Pajama. Imagine that.
If he does that, yeah, I might change my outlook about him, okay? I
Oh,
might
all right.
change
No, I think what we need to do is like next time Manny comes and have a chat. I think the problem is when you hear him talking on the internet, because he's trying to interview someone. Sometimes I do feel like even with Anne-Marie Waters. Let me just say something about the Anne-Marie Waters interview. We had the guest on and we was trying to build the channel, and so I did want to ask tougher questions. One of the questions I wanted to ask her was about this footage of her saying that she wants to reduce the birth rates of Muslims.
Right. And how are you
Something
looking to do that?
So when she come on, we only had her on for an hour, and we didn't. And we personally, we came to a decision that we can ask questions, but we don't want to scare people off in the beginning.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't grow your channel. Do you understand? So we want to get other guests on, but if she ever did come back on, that I would question her about that particular thing that she said, and ask her what does she mean by that. But unfortunately, on that first interview that we had with her on there, I admit we went a bit soft.
Right.
Yeah, that wasn't.
I don't think it was your fault though, because it's not your platform, is it?
No, but I don't even think it was a bad decision. I think it was, you know, you have to understand if you want to
So
grow.
are you saying you don't want to discourage other people to
Yeah,
come
so
on in the future?
what we need to have is like, you know, we can say, all right, that person come on. Then at some point, once we've established the channel, we can be like Jeremy Paxman
You can give the polar opposite
and
to
just
that.
like literally gun for them, and we can bring other people into the panel who can question them. So until we can't do that until we kind of establish
Yeah,
it.
you grow yourself,
Yeah. So it may not seem like the best way to go in terms of getting the true viewpoint of the individual at the time, but in terms of the long term, I think it was a good strategy, because I have to admit my particular strategy was to go in gunning a bit.
Right, yeah, guns blazing and that.
And then I was told, all right, you come in later on and you can ask certain questions, but don't. Let's just try and keep it quite short and concise and stuff. So, yeah, hopefully you and Manny can kind of talk and
No, I
maybe
mean, we'll
come to a
talk. I'm
common
up to
ground.
talking with him, but at the moment, this is the viewpoint I have of him, and he knows. I've made it clear. I've let him know that's what I think of you. So if he talks to me, like,
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of chat wars. You won the war on the milk.
Carrots.
The dud and the carrots are coming out the other day. You won.
Carrots,
You're the,
covered.
I think you're the February
You
the
know
second
what?
winner.
Well, you don't understand the combination, and you're Punjabi. Gajrela,
Well, carrot.
Gajrela,
Gajar and
Gajar हलवा किਵੇਂ बनाਈਦਾ ਦੁੱਧ ਤੇ ਗਾਜਰਾਂ ਗਜਰੇਲਾ
what's Gajar? Is it something?
ਗਜਰੇਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਖਾਧਿਆ ਇਹ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜੇ
You know, hurry up, mama. Let on.
big up man like it
Oh, yeah. All right, so
Gajrela is when you get the milk here and you get the carrots and then you make it like semiya, like you know that kind of thing.
I've
with
not
the carrots.
tasted that.
Bro,
That-
go
are you-
home, go home today and say to Ammi, Gajrela ki honda, and if she don't slap you and
No,
say,
no, no.
"Haki,
You're
you ask me what Gajrela is."
talking about dahi with the
Bro,
Gajar in it.
milk and
No,
gajra.
no,
Ask your
dahi.
mum today when you go home, say, Ammi the Gajrela ki honda, and she will hot you
I'll
up.
ask,
She will hot you
I'll
up.
ask.
She's gonna say, what? Raji, tenu Gajrela nahi pata.
My mum's going to be
I
like,
just gave you a Punjabi lesson there, big up.
All right, so let's go back to the Punjab now. So
So where we go? Not just to Punjab, we're going to go to the whole of the Indian subcontinent today and talk about unity, what unites us.
yeah. So basically, it's not going to be too long. We've talked about being British, Punjabi, British, Pakistani stuff. But one of the things we were supposed to do today was to get a different
side.
perspective from the Bangladesh side. So when you're looking at the Indian subcontinent, because we're going back to the Indian series, one of the greatest ever series known to mankind. And basically,
Coming to a cinema near you soon.
basically, we've been talking a lot about northwest
Northwest, yeah.
northwest
That's what we've
India,
been looking about,
and
yeah.
we're very close in proximity between Big Ardz and
Yeah.
and the Sikhs.
We
here
could
is-
walk to each other, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
walking
literally it's just like, split in half after 1947. But when you get to Bangladesh, which is another part of that
It's
Asian
basically on the
community,
other side of India.
it's literally all the way over. I don't know how many miles it is. I should have double checked
we should have.
just to calculate. But it's probably like from here to
thousands of
Russia.
miles, it's thousands of
probably
miles.
like from here to Russia, isn't it? Could it be
Around
more?
about, maybe, yeah, around about that, because Europe is small, yeah, around about.
Yeah, so if
around
you went
about,
from the
around
UK
about
to
that.
Russia,
Around about that.
then you can see like it's kind of a big shift over. But one thing that does unite the people of Bangladesh with the people of the northwest is that the language branch is still the same.
So this is what I was going to say. I was going to say culture,
Yeah,
language,
yeah,
food,
yeah,
you know,
religion, obviously.
religion, yeah, weather.
Yeah.
So these are the 5 things that I thought of in my head. I don't know if you have any.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is that I want people from that side of the Indian subcontinent to come into the conversation, because there's a long history. When I was researching Indian history, a big chunk of it is actually from that side as well.
Yeah.
And so, in order for us, obviously, it influenced the northwest, but you had kingdoms which spread from
Yes.
there, from
All the way to
Bangladesh,
Bangladesh,
all the
from-
way
yeah.
over to there. So, what we need to, I mean, next time, hopefully, with
I'm
someone
trying
like
to get Mohib in, yeah.
we need a token Bengali, but not gay dunya. So we can leave that.
Big up
guys.
Grey Dunya.
No, gay dunya. He has no gag reflex anymore.
Big up my brother.
He has no gag reflex. So the thing is that
Are you going to buy him the knee pads next week, though? Tell him what you're going to get him for him.
no, I need reinforced. It needs to have like at least Kevlar.
Oh, bad man.
Kevlar. Yeah. So basically, what we need is to have people from that side, because what we want to do with the subject matter, what we're talking about, is that we want to open it up to the whole of the Indian subcontinent, because it is all connected.
Yes.
And then at some point get this. Sorry to the South Indians, but they're coming in last.
No, well, we need to bring the Sri Lankans and the Dravidians in. We have to bring them in because they are integral part of the subcontinent, yeah? And if anything,
The Greeks there.
big up the Spartans, you get me? If anything, yeah, like in my eyes, the Dravidians have been there a long time, if not longer than us. So they have to be recognized real soon, and we're going to do a couple shows just on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so basically, and it'll be good to discuss whether because I've never really spoken to Dravidians about their theory about whether they believe they are the
Aryan invasion and all
inhabitants
that,
of the Indus Valley civilization, because there is this contention about who. We still don't know who.
Yeah,
those
we
people
don't know
are.
who it was. Yeah, we don't
Because
know.
the writing or the language
It's
or
not
whatever,
tra- yeah, they can't
we haven't been able
translate
to
it.
translate it. We haven't got like the Rosetta Stone for Egypt. You have for the hieroglyphs, you have the Rosetta Stone that they could translate some of the stuff. But in the Harappan civilization, Indus Valley civilization, they still haven't been able to decode a lot of the kind of writings and stuff. So we never know. But what is your? Because the thing is, one thing. Obviously, there is a connection. I don't want to go too deep into it, but you did have Bangladesh at one point being East Pakistan,
Yeah.
and you had West.
Present day Pakistan.
Yeah.
was
So
West
what?
Pakistan.
So it'll be interesting to understand. And basically, for just so people,
Well, from
I don't know if- so basically,
1947
so you have just say from here you have East Pakistan, West Pakistan, and in the middle you had
India.
India. So what unified those two?
Religion.
All right. So it was religion.
It was religion, yeah. The main factor for the unification was religion. There were majority Muslims on both sides. The problem was the distance and the barrier of India being physically in between them. They were not connected with any kind of point of land at all. So it's a big logistical problem. On top of that, there was a language barrier. Because obviously in Bangladesh, they speak a different language.
What is the language? It's Bengali,
It's
but what's
Bangladeshi, it's Bengali, there's Sylheti. Basically Sylheti, I was speaking to Mohib. Mohib was saying Sylhet is like, it should be its own country. Because he was saying that even Sylhet is a different kind of culture to the rest of Bangladesh.
Is it Sylheti? Because I need to double check
Sylheti is
that.
a different type of language.
But is it a different language branch like South Indian?
Yeah.
Is it part of that language?
I think it is, yeah. I think it is, yeah. I
Alright.
think it's part of that. And what was I saying? Yeah, so the religion was the main factor that united us. Afterwards, obviously the language barrier, culture, distance, logistical problems, and also the governments. Like the government at the time, I think they wanted to have the capital in West Pakistan. I think the population was bigger in Bangladesh at the time, and they were more the bigger economy, so to speak. Assalamu alaikum, Aki. And they thought that the capital should have been in Bangladesh. Do you understand? So from there, the trouble started. We had some idiot generals at the
Let's
time.
not go into
but
that today.
I'll go into it a little bit.
You can go into it.
So we had some idiot generals. We had some stupid people in power that started to commit genocide and horrific crimes that we totally condemn. Do you get me? And if that was in this day and age, I would go out and fight them man myself. Inshallah, I hope the other brothers would too. You get me? Because we totally condemn that, killing any kind of innocents. And they did go to Bangladesh and they massacred a lot of students, a lot of young people. By the way, I'd like to say that the Indian army did not help in this, because they were there too and they were doing a lot of atrocities under the guise of Pakistan. Maybe sometimes they used to do some raids and say that was Pakistani soldiers. So a lot of these kind of stuff used to happen as well.
No comment.
No problem.
I
I mean, I'm just saying that that's a brief little thing.
I don't know
and then
about
after that, that was the war of independence in 1971, and Bangladesh gained independence. And mashallah, you know what I mean, they're flourishing as a state, and I wish them prosperity. You get me? That's all I can say.
Yeah, but the thing about East, or to say Bangladesh, is like, from my understanding, is that when you go to North, say Pakistan, they're quite unique.
We're different people.
But when you go to Bengalis are a little bit more similar to say South Indians in my opinion. Is that true?
Bangladeshis are more similar to South Indians, and Nepalese, you know, Bhutan, because they have a lot of the Oriental mixture in them as well, and Dravidian. Because they remember they're right on the border of Tibet and all them kind of countries there. So
you've also got the ones from Burma.
Yeah, Burma. Yeah, Rohingya.
And
they
I
think,
We love Pakistan.
we love Somalia too. You get me? Big up, big up. And yeah, so the Rohingya are genetically, I think they are Bengali, but they for centuries they have been living in the Burma. And they've been persecuted.
It's a bit like sometimes when you've got an Iranians gone into
there's
Pakistan.
there's a lot of Persians.
And over time they've just become
they're
Pakistani.
Balochis. You know, in Balochistan there's a lot of Persians.
Even Freddie Mercury was from Iran or something. You know that, he was from Iran.
Yeah,
Freddie Mercury's an Indian.
I know,
But his people came from Iran or something like that, so they come over and migrated.
Big up Sid Bash.
My fingers are
Sid Bash is holding two cameras.
He's smoking cigarettes.
Look what I'm doing. I can't even
Smoking cigarettes and everything.
He's drinking a tea,
Bad man.
Smoking, and he's raising money
Just
from
consider
Jamal.
it exercise, bro. That's your gym session.
I'm dying here.
Gym session.
Don't worry, it's good. It's all that punishment for all those bad comments against you. I'm getting
You
my
got itchy
really
nose?
money.
You got itchy nose?
Yeah, he's doing jaddals
Have you got itchy
all
nose
the
though?
time. No, that's why I wear this though, because when he
You
says
got itchy nose?
I wear this because the protection against his jaddal.
Jaddu to na.
You know your jaddal don't work when this is on.
So go on. So what are you saying? So
Yeah, so what I want to do is, like today's quite a short one, but I want to expand the conversation out. And because obviously a lot of the stuff is about what is different between us, but more about what do we have in common.
yeah, this is what I want.
Now
to talk
it's
about,
easy for me to talk to you. So anyway, I'm always kind of like, if people think I'm anti-Pakistani, I'm not, because we are literally very similar. And sometimes when it's a bit like having two brothers. When they're very similar, they butt heads.
Yeah, of course.
Because you've got the same
They argue a
temperament.
lot. Yeah, they argue a lot.
So this is what people don't understand. We're so similar that you can butt heads with those people because
The temperament is the same and all
temperament's
that
the
kind
same.
of stuff, yeah.
But the thing is, when it comes to the Bengalis, obviously they are. So when it comes to Bangladesh and the South Indians, they have a different temperament and they have a different language branch, some of them, and also food, culture, music. And so it'd be nice to kind of
music, I never mentioned that,
Yeah, so it'd be nice to kind of like get that side in and then expand it out to that area.
Even what about the building work? Like
architecture as well.
Architecture, pottery, all this kind of things.
So when you go to North India, it's very heavily influenced by Islamic
And
architecture,
Greek
and
yeah.
stuff like that. You'll see a lot of these kind of domes and stuff like that. But when you go over to South India, it's still very, very
more Hindu, Buddhist.
Yeah, it's really kind of unique, kind of like sculptures and stuff all over.
You don't find it anywhere around the world.
Yeah, totally different.
So we should go into depth with that. Maybe get some pictures printed out.
We do. This is one of the things we need to do. We need to
flashboards
upscale.
and shit, man. Yeah, man.
We should have like a big screen here, pointers.
We'll
have little servants to hold
point,
stuff.
yeah.
We'll have people kind of like sit. We can sit on them as well. I'm gonna joke. So I think we will end it today because it's too cold here.
Yeah, it's too cold.
And,
we haven't planned nothing really
Sid Bash,
today.
so what we're gonna do is like, I'm trying to get Big Ardz home before he does something silly anyway.
Big Ardz? You mean yourself?
He's gonna do something silly.
Big Ardz 2.0.
He's been there for 6-7 hours.
Tell him it's Big Ardz 2.0
Yeah,
now.
Big Ardz 2.0. And I actually witnessed something.
I've been here since 12 o'clock
Someone
today.
saying something to him and he was
I
smiling
didn't
when he
react.
said
I
it.
smiled at him and I
He
said,
signed
okay.
it. All right, big up.
Because I was the cameraman, so I can't get involved. You know what I mean?
Well, you
I
would
learned
have
it
in the
from
past.
content over everything.
Yeah, big up to
Man has
content
to
as
risk
well,
to be
man.
offended. You get me when you come in?
Juggling over everything.
Juggling over everything.
He's doing a lot of juggling out.
Juggling over everything. You get me?
He's doing some stirring.
Are you stirring?
man,
Are you stirring, Leon?
I can't even have a black man to hold my camera because of what he said.
He goes, don't tell this man's name.
He can't even get a
Hey,
black
but
guy to
Leon,
do it.
Guess what, bro? They were slating your man. It's in the show, you know.
No, we won't though.
Blood, they try to say you're not
You're
biased.
mad.
They say you're biased.
We didn't say
Yeah, address that.
Alright.
Address that.
Alright. So let me.
Yeah, because they got you cut it off.
Alright, look at this Tublian.
20 minutes on
And
Saturday.
blur
This
the
is a
face, yeah?
Tublian as well.
Yeah.
This is a Tublian as well. He's doing Tublian. He's Tublian as well.
Big
So
up, big
basically,
odds.
yeah, the video, I didn't talk about it, they talked about it, and they said that they was edited, it wasn't,
That's
it was,
Pablo.
the faces all blurred
No,
out,
no.
and the video is still back up, so we clarified that anyway on that thing. So a lot of Tublian going on today, I better go
He
home.
said big up to content.
Big up to
He's
content.
unbiased, you get me?
Yeah, of course, I said that, I said that.
Content is the only
I said that.
unbiased, only unbiased thing here, bro. Content, you get me? So if you want the real views, go to content over everything,
Hey,
bro.
you're
One time.
skewing it. We was complimenting the man for like 30 minutes.
Yeah? Were you?
Yeah, we
I
said
thought you were dissing him
Nah,
for 30
we
minutes.
said we said he's the most
But I heard
unbiased.
Banksy came on and he started saying, oh, now I have to start worrying about content.
Yeah, I mean-
have to scrutinize it. I thought, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, but just so that Banksy knows, he didn't see the re-edited
So
version.
you let Banksy know that he just blurred the faces out, he put it back up, you get me? In its entirety.
You done your Tublian now?
Hey, let's call it a day, let's call it a day, man. Fuck it,
Tublian,
big up Raj,
Hey, where's your, don't do that, man. Anyway, man.
We got Sid Bash, we got Leon, we
We
got
got Leo,
content.
I can't
Done
do
now.
frozen. I can't do the fist bump.
Show us your fingers, Sid Bash.
Oh, look, they're so frozen.
Margia.
My face, everything's frozen now.
Dargia, they all Margia.
Dargia yesterday, you see me? I was scared to come.
I see you, man.
I was hiding behind my flute.
I rate Raj though, still.
I was
Raj,
hiding behind my
Raj.
flute.
Raj held it out still, you get me?
I need to go home in a bit because nothing else.
Yeah, let's see we John again. Cut to the
7 o'clock, man.
Chili?
The police told me to go at 7.
Did they tell you?
The Popo, cops of the ops, told me to go at 7 o'clock.
Didn't you tell them you got big odds with
Do
you?
what they say.
What are you saying? They were asking me what time I'm going home.
Didn't you tell them you got
Did anyone else get that question asked
Some
today?
problems down here, Raj.
We said the feds asked him what time you going home.
They came. I was standing here like this, and they come over. Oh, Raj, what time are you going home today? I was like, what do you mean?
They're coming to get you, look, Raj, they're coming to get you 7 o'clock.
Oh no!
They said we're coming to get Raj 7 o'clock
I
and
think
that.
they've mistaken my costume for a Bane costume rather than Batman.
Mad,
I'm supposed to be Batman, not Bane. Some little kid said I look like Bane.
don't lie.
Yeah, he's like, oh daddy, it's not Bane. I'm Batman, not
But on a
Bane.
level, they come to get you out, bro.
Batman.
I swear.
You're mad.
Shall I go ask them? Have you come for Raj? Look, they come for Raj.
Huh?
They come for you,
I
Raj.
know. I'm not gay dunya, you know. There's only one guy that swings that way.
To the mic, say it to the mic, Raj.
There's only
Say
one
it to
guy
the
that
mic,
swings
man.
that way. Gay dunya, he has no gag reflex anymore. I chucked the chip, you know the McDonald's, yeah? No, I chucked the chip, yeah, from this distance, and it went straight in his throat. The man don't even swallow anymore. There's no gag reflex. I think his Adam apple's been removed. His Adam apple's been wrecked. The man's got no more Adam
Big up
apple.
Grey Dunya, my brother.
Gay Dunya, big up Gay Dunya, the king of the 10 inches. No, king of the 12 inches now. I think the flute, I'm going to try and practice the flute.
Go play it, play
No,
it, play it.
what I'm saying, this flute would determine how.
Play it for Leon,
What I'm
man.
saying, this flute would determine how much he can take. Gay Dunya, here's your practice. This is 12 inches. Let's see if it works. I need to get it thicker though.
Raj, you're too much, you know.
Let's make it a little bit thicker though.
Or fatter.
Yeah. Obviously, he's used to like girth.
Girth, he needs the girth.
He's used to girth.
Oh, he's saying he needs the girth.
Only joking. All right. So I need to go in a bit.
Yeah, big up, Raj. Go do your round and come back in it. Big up, Sid, Raj.
I wish I had a little chat about.
Content over everything from your humanity.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
So you're there. Okay.
Listen.
I don't think you appear like that. So power for me, I perceive power, the word power, as the ability to enforce your will upon the world, to shape the world in a way that fits your dream, your desire, your ambition. That is the definition for power for me.
Why is that power? Maybe like that 50